Right now, some disturbing new research to tell you about on the health risks associated with smartphones. There's a recent study that suggests that heavy users are more likely to become nearsighted. Researchers note that the most significant vision changes were reported in children and young adults. Let's talk to Dr. Kevin Campbell. He's a practicing cardiologist and an assistant professor of medicine at the University of North Carolina. There is a 35% increase in nearsightedness, and this has really picked up since the year 2007. Explain why this is.
What we have found is that when you use smartphones, you typically hold those tablets or smartphones or electronics very close to your face, 30 centimeters or more. And with books, you are using 40 centimeters, and it puts a significant strain on the eyes, which leads to myopia or nearsightedness.
Okay, and is that something that can be fixed in any way? If you start holding those things farther away from your face, especially children, can you prevent nearsightedness?
I think you can help. I think the biggest thing we can do is limit screen time. I think that the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends no more than 2 hours a day of screen time, including TV, video games, and smartphone use.
Okay, medically, how young is too young for a child to use a smartphone? You see it all the time. 2, 3-year-olds playing on iPads. How young is too young?
You know, I think medically you want these kids to develop with developmentally proper type tools. And I think that if you're looking at 5-year-olds using smartphones, I think that's a little bit young. My daughter is 12 and she just got her first smartphone.
Heck, hard not to, especially if you're on a long flight or something like that. But researchers say a way to combat this is to get your kids outdoors, and that can actually help correct this if they're starting to develop nearsightedness. So that's some good news.
Right. Research actually shows exposure to sunlight away from screens can actually reduce the progression to nearsightedness. So I think that's very important to do.
Love to know that. Okay, we've got another topic for you, and here's another reason not to overeat. Ladies, researchers at the University of California are linking women's calorie intake to the risk for breast cancer. They took a look at more than 4,000 women, and they found that those who consumed the most calories were 70% more likely to develop breast cancer. So does this mean people who eat a lot regularly or just once in a while go on some sort of a binge?
I think this is all related to obesity. We know that when you are obese, you have a large component of fat cells. Fat cells produce lots of things that promote tumor growth, believe it or not. They secrete estrogens, which are associated with development of breast cancer and uterine cancer. Additionally, they release hormones that promote quicker growth of tumors and cancers.
No kidding. One of the things I read is that exercise doesn't help out. If you're consuming all these calories, but yet you're exercising a lot, doesn't matter. You still run the risk of developing breast cancer as a result of eating all these extra calories.
Exactly, because a lot of these nutrient-poor foods that have high calories often cause high levels of insulin in our body. High insulin levels are also associated with increased tumor growth.
Really?
I
guess that's why they say that cancer loves sugar, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And you know, it's all about calories in versus calories out. So you can exercise, but if you don't eat right, it's not going to work out.
That's fascinating.